Well, I got a bunch of concrete I picked up and gonna mix it up for a teeny little pad here for propane tanks and stuff to sit on for the propane heater that's on the back side of the house. So we do run a little bit of propane here at the house. Dede likes cooking with gas, so we have that plugged into our stove that we use. We also use a hot water heater that runs off of propane as well. We have a Ream tankless hot water heater that's set up for propane. When we bought our stove, we just simply changed the jets out in it to convert it over to propane. And they came with the stove, super simple. So we've been running those for years. They work great. Just got it roughed in. There's a clean out for the septic and a dump for RVs. Just gonna build this little pad right here. You know, I didn't even think about the cats getting in it. I'm sure they would love it.
I'll go around the front and pull them in a few minutes. Oh man.
Oh, here he comes. Ready to get in trouble.
The inspector.
I miscalculated by a bag or so. Just kind of spitballing for what I thought how many bags it'd be, but it was a little deeper on this back corner. So I got all my bags mixed up. They're in there. I have some, I had some 3/4 minus sitting in a little pile up the hill, so I'm just going to sprinkle that in as aggregate and mix it down in, and I'll be plumbing level before you know it. What 3/4 minus?
You just mixed it right in there.
Yep.
Nice job.
We'll go grab one more and we should be good.
Robert already said this, but I may have not caught it on camera, so I'm just going to say it again. When you live 45 minutes from the nearest hardware store, like a Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, you've got to get kind of creative sometimes. And we did have a pile of 3/4 minus just off to the side. So he mixed that in and just kind of worked it so that the I guess they call it the cream kind of rises to the top, and it's nice and smooth. It looks fantastic. So good job to my husband, who is very resourceful.
Now, if I was really smart, I would have just bought the 10 bags that I originally thought, and I went, oh no, 8's fine. It'll be fine.
Hey, we all do that.
So I'm going to let this kind of firm up for, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. Come back out here, and then I'll work it again with the trowel. Make sure everything is just how I want it. Give it a little bit. I'll probably edge it around the edges. Typically on concrete, like an open slab like that, I guess you want to round the edges. So they don't chip and break off. So I got a rounding tool from when we did the foundation for the cabin. So give it a little bit set up, then I'll come and work a little more.
Our ever-present helpers, Jasper and Oliver, have been locked inside the house so that they cannot come and dance on it. They're very curious, they're super nosy, and they want to be involved in everything. And so Ollie has already kind of come over here and tried to check things out. So I snagged them and put them inside so that he can't get his little paws in there. Your hair is cute. It's color here.
All right, so I let it set for a couple hours, came out and troweled it. Let it sit for another hour or so, came back with the rounding for the edges. I decided to go ahead and just work it again and leave it with a little bit of a textured look rather than flat smooth. The rest of the foundation has kind of a lot of texture on it, so I think it actually blends a little bit better that way. So I think we're going to go with that, and we'll see how that looks in the morning. How's that looking?
Oh, it looks fantastical. Da 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 da. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yay!
Yay.
Alrighty, I'm gonna take these forms off and probably let it sit for a few more days before we put the propane tanks back over here. But overall, it was a success.
Woo woo. Oh, I didn't even notice you had that wedged in there. Good thinking. Time for the big reveal. Not the big veal, the big reveal. Ooh, that's pleasing. Looks good. Oh, yes. Very nice. One thing that I very much dislike is slipping and sliding around in the mud and snow. And so, this will be really nice because then our propane tanks, when we have to fill them up this winter, we won't have them all coated in mud and stuff. So they'll be sitting on a nice platform and they won't be sitting down in the mud. So that is really exciting. Good job, babe.
Thank you.
So one more thing, Robert was just using scrap wood for the forms for this, and it's bugging him that there's a little lip on the bottom because he didn't have a really wide board. I think we just had like a 2x4 that he used, and he probably needed more like a 2x6. So he's gonna try and sawzall off this little lip of concrete. So I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna go, but hey, you don't know until you try.
It's still reasonably soft. We'll try it. Why not?
Hey, that's actually working.
I think it'll work.
Sawzalling it might seem kind of funny, but actually that's probably a way safer method than when I would do it. Knowing me, I would just like hack at it with a hatchet or a hammer or something.
Yeah.
Huh, that's funny that worked.
Yeah, well, it's still pretty soft, so, and you know, being behind the form and all. Top's hardened up pretty good, but the underground, or the underneath is still a little soft, so.
Yeah. It was good that you did it now then.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened another day.
It would have been more like a cold chisel.
Yeah. No, it looks good though. I think I'll just smooth it a little bit and it'll look like it was formed correctly and not with a bunch of scraps. All right, now I'm just gonna clean up my mess. Not too big a one for a small little pour like that, but gotta get all the bags and everything cleaned up.
Got tools and bags and form debris. Not too bad though.
We make a lot bigger messes usually.
We do. But I've said it once and I'll say it again. At least we clean up good.
I literally built this stuff out of the firewood pile.
Hey, I like your resourcefulness.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I really gotta get up and get the blue tape off of the house. Alright, the blue tape is kind of somewhat painted on there, so we'll probably get a box knife for the difficult areas. Robert, though, is attempting to peel it off, so we'll see if it starts to tear. Don't. Really surprised that that's peeling off of there. I know that the one on the bathroom, the little bathroom window, is definitely going to need to be, that one's definitely going to need a box knife to get it off of there. But I think the rest of the blue tape is off. We just have this window and then the little one where the bathroom is. And then there's a little bit of blue tape on the greenhouse I need to peel off still. Hi, beautiful boy. Hi. Hey, ho. Hi. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Yeah. Finley's fur is looking just a tad bit raggedy. He had so many burrs and mats in his fur from playing in the woods all day, every day, that we tried to brush them out. That wasn't going to happen. We tried to cut them out. That wasn't working. So we finally just got an old pair of clippers, and we just kind of shaved him a little bit. I don't want to say like shaved him. We didn't like shave him naked. We just cut his hair really short. It was pretty much the most embarrassing haircut a cat could have. I'm pretty sure he hated us, and he looked really funny. He looked really bad, and his tail was so spindly and funny looking, but thankfully his fur is coming back in and he's looking quite beautiful now. All right, you Finley. What, bud? You're so pretty. Hi, bud. Hi. So yesterday Robert got the wood rack moved over by the door of the house, and he filled that up with both wood and kindling. What I'm working on today is I'm going to empty out the rest of this wood hoop behind me because I want to move it to a different spot. The spot where this is sitting currently is the only spot that we really want to park the travel trailer, because every other place it's blocking a view of either somebody coming down the driveway or up the property. So we're gonna move it to right here. But before I can do that though, I need to move all of the wood out of this wood, I don't know, we call it a wood hoop. It's just where we store our firewood. But we need to move all of that, and then also I need to split and move this giant stack of firewood right here. So I am going to work on that a little bit. I'm gonna tackle moving some of this and see how far I get.
I think we got it in place. Good job. That thing's had a rough life getting shoved all over the property.
This is the third time it's been moved, I think. Second or third, yeah. Ideally, we would love to make like an actual wood shed, but it's on the list. It's just down there a little ways, and so this has been working out actually really, really well. It keeps the rain, keeps the snow off, and that is all we need. Great, thank goodness we got that thing moved. Now comes the rest of the difficult part. We get to work on moving all the firewood that we threw out of there and chopping and moving all this wood. So thankfully we have a wood splitter, so that'll be nice. Saves a lot of time, and when you're trying to put up a lot of firewood at a time, that's really handy. My neighbor actually says it allows you to do more than you probably should, but yeah, it's very handy. When it comes to heat, we don't have any like central heating and air, so we heat pretty much 100% with wood. So we have to put up a good amount of firewood for the winter. Plus we have a friend in need who is also going to need some firewood, so we need to chop and get a load over to her pretty soon. So we are going to get started on that. Right, so it's actually the next day. Once we got that wood hoop moved, we both kind of looked at each other and we're like, we're too tired to move the rest of this firewood. So we just kind of turned in for the evening, and Robert has been back out here today. I've been working on another project, but Robert has been back out here today moving all of that firewood over. I think probably tomorrow I'm gonna get started on splitting that huge pile. So probably we'll make sure that I can get the wood splitter up and running and ready to go. It's always frustrating. I'm sure everybody feels the same way when you go out to start a project and you can't find your tools or you can't get something running. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that the wood splitter is running, and then we have fuel for it and everything, since we do need to make a run to town in a little bit here anyway. So I will get started with that, but in the meantime, let me show you what Robert's been up to. those sun rays.
Alrighty, we got a bunch of what was already split resituated in here since we've moved this. This is a much better spot for it. And we got a whole bunch more to split coming up in the near future, but sorry.
It's okay.
We got a bunch more to split coming up in the near future, but for now, just get this restacked and situated. Our RV is going to go in the spot where this thing used to be sitting.
So if you're new to our channel, we'd love for you to stick around. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you for being here. We really appreciate you, and we hope you have a fantastic week. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.